It all starts with the Russian occupiers preparing for an assault. They spread out along the forest strip, hiding among the trees, trying to take up more advantageous positions. They talk and gesticulate as if agreeing on a further plan of action. A few seconds later, the first strike hits. Confusion breaks out among the ranks. One of the occupiers completely loses control. He rushes around among the trees, running from side to side. Ukrainian operators continue to observe and deliver the next strike. The attack is repeated, another explosion among the trees. The enemy assault begins to break down before it has even really begun. The drone moves on, and the camera captures two occupiers in a trench. They are sitting low, actively discussing something, waving their arms as if trying to come up with a plan. It seems that they do not understand that their secret conversation has long been under the surveillance of Ukrainian operators. Their voices are lost in the noise of the forest. A few seconds pass and the operators strike. The situation becomes critical for the enemy. One of the soldiers finally realizes that they are being seen and watched. He abruptly jumps up and runs without looking back. His movements are sharp and hurried. He literally flies forward, trying to find cover among the trees. Such running betrays not so much determination as despair. Here, the operators spot two other enemy soldiers. The two occupiers remaining nearby also cannot withstand the pressure. They explode and flee. They run as fast as they can, staying together, hiding between tree trunks but moving in the same direction. Their steps are quick and hurried. After the first hits, the enemy finally loses their balance. Their group, which was trying to move forward, now comes out onto the road and moves almost in a column in one direction. They are no longer as confident as they were at the beginning. They look back, exchange glances with each other. They delve into the forest belt, trying to get lost among the trees. There, in the shade of the branches, the group stops. The enemy soldiers gather in a tight circle, saying something to each other, obviously trying to come up with a new plan. From the outside, it looks like a chaotic meeting in the midst of chaos. But the Ukrainian operators watch silently, waiting, and at the right moment, another strike. Meanwhile, the soldiers run out onto the road, carrying their wounded comrade in their arms. They run without stopping, breathing heavily, trying to save him at any cost. The drone camera captures their desperate attempt. They rush forward but stay together. However, their path is being monitored by the drone the entire time. After a few minutes, the group reaches the edge of the forest and stops. They are clearly exhausted and confused. The wounded soldier is laid on the ground, and two soldiers begin to discuss something animatedly. They walk in circles, gesticulate, and look around, as if trying to decide what to do next. The commotion continues. They walk away, then come back, then gather around the wounded man again.
It seems that they cannot make a decision. And most importantly, they still do not realize that Ukrainian cameramen are watching them.
The cameramen watch patiently. The enemy tries to buy time, looking for a way out. Movement can be seen throughout the forest. Scattered groups of occupiers rush between the trees, trying to figure out what to do next. Some run deeper into the forest. Others remain in the trenches, peeking out and then hiding again. They gesticulate and shout at each other, as if looking for a way out of the trap. But none of them realize that their every move is already under control. Ukrainian operators patiently wait for the right moment. And then the signal to act. The first strike. The forest is filled with the roar of an explosion. Soldiers scatter in all directions. At the same time, Ukrainian soldiers begin to advance. The infantry enters enemy positions, approaching the trenches where the occupiers still remain. Under the cover of drones, they methodically move forward, forcing the enemy to retreat into smaller and smaller areas of the forest. New strikes fall one after another, giving the occupiers neither time nor opportunity to regroup. Meanwhile, the rest of the occupiers continue to rush around the trenches. They look out of them, search for a direction of retreat, try to call out to each other, but their voices sound confused. They do not understand what is happening. Explosions on all sides, the invisible gaze of a drone above, and Ukrainian soldiers approaching ahead. Another strike and another part of the group is covered. Those who remain alive run frantically through the narrow passages of the trenches, as if driven into a cage. But even there they find no salvation. Each attempt to hide ends in another strike. Ukrainian operators are in action. One after another, the drones strike. The occupiers' attempts to break through look ridiculous and hopeless. They rush forward, then hide in the bushes again, then try to run through the trenches. But wherever they go, they are seen. This large enemy group, which was preparing for an assault, is now powerless. Ukrainian soldiers continue to maintain control, leaving the enemy no chance. Despite heavy losses, the enemy did not immediately realize that its offensive had effectively failed. Chaotic movements were visible throughout the forest. Small groups scurried between the trees, some tried to run to the edge of the forest, others returned to the trenches but found no protection there either. Ukrainian operators kept a close watch. Drone cameras recorded every move the invaders made, how they stopped, gesticulated, and ran again. From above, it looked as if the enemy was wandering around a maze, unable to find the exit. And at every crucial moment, the operators launched their attacks. The blows were delivered one after another to the enemies. They did not have time to comprehend what was happening before the next strike hit them. Another attempt by the enemy to leave the forest was instantly stopped. Those who were still alive began to act chaotically. They ran between the trees, looking around in all directions, shouting to each other, but their cries were lost in the roar of new explosions. Some tried to pull out their wounded, but these attempts also ended tragically. Others rushed along the narrow trenches, running out of them and then hiding again. Ukrainian soldiers on the ground did not stop either. The infantry gradually advanced, securing positions that until recently belonged to the enemy. They methodically combed the territory, cutting the occupiers from possible routes of retreat. The coordination was perfect. Continuous control by operators from drones, and a confident advance by Ukrainian soldiers on the ground. With every passing minute, the situation became increasingly desperate for the enemy. Their large group, which was gathered for the assault, was now reduced to scattered remnants. Everyone was trying to save their own lives, but escape was difficult. Each attempt ended in the same way, another precise strike. Ukrainian soldiers also worked on the ground. They prevented the enemy from reaching Ukrainian positions and held them back. Ukrainian operators continued to observe, while soldiers on the ground prevent the enemy from breaking through and hold them back. They continue to inflict damage, while the enemy remains unsure of what to do, running around the forest, panicking. But Ukrainian soldiers are in control and have managed to break through as far as possible. Ukrainian soldiers secured their positions, and drones continued to patrol to ensure that none of the enemies could escape. And that was the final outcome. Another attempt by the enemy to break through failed in the forest, under the watchful eye of Ukrainian defenders.